Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Managing Facilities and Events in Sports, Entertainment, and Media Business. Again, I'm Professor Robert Romano. And this is Module 2 Facility Design and Construction. We also go over budgeting in a different video and a different PowerPoint. But for today's purposes, we'll go over facility design and construction. Now, facility design and construction, you got to be aware of two things. If you're going to manage these projects, be aware that you're going to need to control cost and you're going to keep the project on schedule. All right, keeping the project on schedule will help you control cost, of course, but your job as a facility construction manager will be to control the facility cost, the construction cost, and keep that project on schedule. All right, so in order to begin, you're going to have to obtain capital. All right, so you're going to have to estimate. In order to do this, you're going to have to estimate what it's going to cost you to build this monstrosity of a building, whether it's MetLife or renovating Madison Square Garden. But you're also going to have to estimate the cost to maintain once it's completed. All right, so you're going to have to obtain capital through whatever means, through loans, through bonds, through raising money, through different means, through donations, whatever. All right, so you're going to have to raise money. So you obtain capital, you're going to have to estimate the cost of the building, estimate what it's going to cost to maintain once completed, and then you're going to determine whether these potential expenses, the cost of the build and the cost to maintain, are going to be worth it based on a projected revenue. All right, so if the projected revenue is going to outweigh these expenses, then great, then you have your project is feasible. If it's not, then you may have to rethink. You also, if the revenue is not going to outweigh the expenses, you're probably not going to be able to get a loan or write bonds for it. All right. So in order to figure out your expenses and your revenues, you're going to have to do a pro forma statement. All right. So pro forma statement basically summarizes the projected future status of your project. It's the foundation for financial planning. Okay, so yeah, your pro forma statement. I try to put one up on an example, one up online. It's going to basically break down all your expenses and all your revenue. All right, so your pro forma will describe what your fixed costs are, being the expenses that do not change as a function of business activity, like your rent, operations, and advertising. So you're going to have your fixed cost on your pro forma, and then you're going to have your variable cost on your pro forma. Variable cost meaning expenses that are value related. All right, so your labor cost, your cost of goods sold, your raw materials. Right, these expenses may change. If you have, they're value related. If you have 10 people working there, then that's a cost. But if you have 30 people working there, that's a variable cost. See how that works? All right, then you're going to describe what your potential, or within your pro forma, break down what is your potential revenue. Are you going to get monthly rental fees? Is there going to be an anchor tenant? Is there going to be other entertainment events there? Are they going to you're going to make money off concessions? You're going to make money off merchandise? You're going to make money off parking? All that stuff, all your revenue. All right, you don't need to get into detail now. I just want you to become familiar with it. In estimating construction cost, you have your soft cost or your indirect cost. These costs are not directly related to the physical construction of the project. All right, so from the beginning, you're going to have some soft cost or indirect cost. These are costs not directly related to the physical construction of the project. All right, they occur prior to the project beginning. And those costs are going to include legal costs, permits, stuff like that. Real estate commissions, if you buy the land, the real estate agent's going to want some money. Financing fees, if you get a loan, you're going to have to pay some financing fees. Design fees, architectural, stuff like that. All those are soft cost, right? Because they happen, or indirect costs, because they happen before the construction begins. Any permits, real estate commissions, financing fees, design fees in that area. Then you're going to have your hard costs, which are your direct costs. And these costs are directly related to the construction project itself. Some hard costs or direct cost, or the cost of the land. It's a hard cost. It's going to cost you $1 million. All right. Cost of materials, cost of labor, cost of equipment, that kind of thing. Those are hard costs directly related to the construction of the building. All right. All right. To determine the cost of a proposed site, you got to look at available lands. You got to also estimate what it's going to cost to design the building. And this is all going to be based on the size of the building and the amount of land that you have. All right. And based on the design and how big the building is, you can estimate how much materials and how much labor. And of course, you're going to have utilities throughout the building phase, electricity, gas, that kind of thing. Site selection. It's important. All right, good site will contribute to the attraction of future patrons to your facility. All right, so it's very important. Some people have different theories on this, where you should pick land. Should you pick it within a city, outside of a city? Everybody has their theories on it, but it's very important to think about. Should we build downtown? Should we build in the suburbs? Should we build out where the land is cheap? But a good site, just know, no matter what it is, a good site will contribute to the success of your facility. When you're picking a site, you're going to start with your schematic drawings. All right, this is a drawing that exhibits the size of the facility and assists in defining the maximum capacity of land needed to build such facility. All right, so you're going to start with your schematic. All right, I'm going to build a building of 18,000. We need to have this much parking. We're going to have the corridors this big, this much concessions, that kind of thing. So this will determine how much land you need. All right, the schematic drawing also should include the parking, whether it's near major interstates or not, because you may have to build off ramps, on ramps, exit entrances, that kind of thing. Remember when you're building, if you're thinking about exits and entrances, they have to come from both directions. Can't just be one way. All right, and in your site selection, in your schematic drawing, can the surrounding infrastructure handle such heavy traffic? All right, you don't want everybody leaving at the same time and being stuck in traffic for 4 hours, right? Because you got red lights every 15 feet. All right, in your site selection, you also need to do a topographical report. Okay, and this is a report on the lot size. Is there existing buildings? What's the elevation? Is it go up? Is there a hill? Is there not a hill? Is it sloping, that kind of thing? Whether there are poles, utility poles on the property already, what the sewer infrastructure looks like. So the topographical report is based on the lot size again. Show any existing buildings, what the elevation of the property is, and any infrastructure like utilities, sewer, water, gas, that kind of thing. All right, and then your geotechnical report. All right, this determines whether the site can support the facility's foundation. Right? This is basically soil conditions. Is building on water. You're building close to the water, and you don't want to build a heavy building and let it sink. Is there proper drainage? That kind of thing. So your geotechnical report ensures that the site can support your facility. The design process. All right, there's some. I put up a couple videos about designing of facilities. The Guitar Games video I put up there. Some interesting designs that they used. Also, you may want to check out the Populous website. They have various facilities that they built or rebuilt or enhanced. So you may want to check that out. I mean, Populous built some of the facilities for the Sochi Games, for the London Games. They built Texas A&M, or redesigned Texas A&M Kyle Field, Melbourne Cricket, all that stuff. So you might want to look at the website and see various designs that they have done. They do a good job. They did Yankee Stadium too. All right, the design process. Again, there's design cost for the schematics, the topographical, all that's going to cost you before you even break ground. All right, civil engineering, the topographical, geotechnical, and you got to think about landscaping, parking. Is there a retention system? What the landscape's going to look like? What the walkways are going to look like? All right. All right. Some of your other costs are your projected drawings for mechanical, plumbing, electric, your permits, and administration. And at the end of it, there's always going to be a punch list. And basically, that what that means is, after everything's painted, everything's done, there's still going to be some issues. This area may not be painted right, or there may be some door not closing right. All right, so you're going to have a punch list, and then the contractor's going to have to come through and fix everything. And timeline. Think about timelines in your design process, just for the drawings, the schematics themselves, the topographical. It's going to take about 8 to 12 months, and then you get your permits together. It's going to take another 8 to 12 months. All right, so even before you break ground, you're looking at about a year. All right. And so you need to get these in place because this will definitely affect your start date and what materials you need when you need to get things delivered, all that good stuff. All right. The construction process, you need a contractor to build your facility. All right, you're not going to build it yourself. If you're building a sports facility, you have a team. You build a team. You don't build a facility. You're going to want to get 4 bids at the least from various contractors. All right, and the Populous is a good one. There's other contractors out that do a very good job. They get involved in the final design plan because they know about construction. Right, so you want to get typically 4 bids, and at the end of the construction, after everything's done, they're going to hand over to you as the facility manager your operation and maintenance manual. Right, at the end of the project, they're going to give you all the stuff, how to run everything in the building. They're going to hand that over to you. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is green construction or LEED certification. And what this means is primary aspect of design in the construction program has minimum impact on the surrounding environment. Right, so you build a green facility, and if you do that, you can be LEED certified. All right, so it's interesting to think about. Can you design a building that reuses water? Can it use solar energy from the parking lots, from the walls outside? So all this great stuff when you're thinking about construction design is whether it should be LEED certified, and what that means is that it has minimal impact on the environment. All right, and there's a thing between pervious materials and impervious materials. It was a little too technical, but just know that LEED certification, green building certification program that recognizes best-in-class building strategies and practices. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see you